This video is a voiceover narration by me. When I was editing this video, I decided that I wanted to just share some of my thoughts and speak with you through this way, and so that is what I am doing. Now, in this video, I am sharing with you parts of my trip to Vermont. I went back to my home state this summer. Vermont is the state that I grew up most of my life in, actually. I moved to Indiana in high school, but Vermont has always been really my one and only true place I would call home. And throughout this video, you'll see shots of when I'm in the sky, when I'm at the airport, and so on. So just shots I think that are pretty cool to show, and I just wanted to share that with you and talk to you this way. You know, one of the things that I've learned, I guess, through just traveling and such is it's really all about the experience. You know, you can read so much about the destination that you're going to. You can ask someone, what is it like to travel? But until you really get on that plane, until you really step foot into a new land, I don't think you can really, I guess, appreciate and just really sort of understand what exactly traveling can do to someone. I have always been just very enthusiastic about traveling in general, and I've enjoyed going to different places. I've enjoyed traveling to different states, and there's something about seeing it and experiencing life and seeing other people and to be able to physically stand in a different spot in your life. I think that it does something to you as an individual, you as a human with a mind and a soul, and it does something to you that it changes you, I think, in a sense. And I've always been someone who has tried to embrace change and to welcome it, because, well, I don't think that you can necessarily move forward if you're not willing to change at least who you are now to become someone in the future. And I hope that with in the future in my life that I can continue to travel and continue to experience other places and other cultures, and to see new things, because I think that enables me as an individual to grow and to learn and to understand more about what does it mean to be a human. And I don't know if you know this recently, but I had just written my first book this summer, and it's really a true highlight, I guess, for not just my summer, but I guess for my own life, because it's I've always wanted to write a book, and I just always, I guess, put it off, or I told myself, oh, I wasn't ready. But I finally decided one day this summer that I would just write it, and I did it. And so I thought that with this sort of montage of some of my travels, that I thought I would actually share one of the chapters that I have written in my book. And so this is chapter 9. It's titled A New World. And here we go. I have a lot of dreams for myself in this world that we live in. I'd like to share some of my personal thoughts with you and give you a glimpse into a side of me that I don't often discuss. When I am referring to a new world, I am envisioning a place and space for humanity that will be closer to one another, not through utopian ideologies, but through a combined understanding and effort to lift the human spirit up as a sign of victory over the evil that plagues our lives. Over my years as a gentleman, I've been observing people and listening very carefully to what people have to say and the way they act. And now, here is my time to share some of my thoughts and observations with you. It has been my direct observation of talking and listening to many individual stories and lives that many people don't have many goals or aspirations with their life. They just want to live a good life and live well and peacefully. As more people confirm this notion, I began asking myself why that could be the case with so many people who come from different backgrounds and fields of interest. I think one of the main reasons why this is the case in our society is that the creative and highly imaginative and artistic individuals are not valued fairly in comparison to the standards that our society has put on them. Again, going back to my earlier chapter on values, the embedded value of someone artistic and musical cannot come to fruition without being accepted as a strong contributing force in society. It's my experience being on the individual side that people don't like to stand out in the crowd. There seems to be deeply rooted causes and impulses for this. My thought is that we fear a kind of rejection that goes against our biological and social unconscious drives. There are many forces and motives stirred from within us that we have yet to fully realize, and let alone explain, that either take us closer to our true selves or farther and into conformity of the social crowd. And this seems to suggest to me that if I were to experience more of life, that I would run into a similar result of most people not having the personal conviction to be an individual in their own choice, and to instead adopt the conditions and norms of the culture. That to me is deeply distressing, and a dangerous consequence to ponder. It makes me wonder if I'm truly alone in this world, or if there are other individuals thinking along the same lines as me. One of my deepest and strongest passions is music. I'm a classical and jazz pianist. I can also improvise and compose my own music. The gift of music in life to me is one of the few good remaining things left in this world, and for a long time in my life I've always felt like there was something more to my music and life than just being talented. Part of what I believe makes a man a gentleman is his willingness to serve those who are less fortunate than him. He must reach deep into his heart and mind and look at the person he is and reflect that upon the world. And so, I've had this somewhat crazy but unshaken dream to use music as a means to change the world, and in a way that doesn't seem to bring total peace and absolute harmony, but rather a dialogue that can invite and engage everyone to join and feel part of the humanity that we have so tarnished and stomped on. It's something I've thought about a lot, and I've decided that in pursuit of a greater ideal and meaning, that this dream should and shall be something I work towards making a reality one day. We cannot come back together by way of force or threat. That never works and will only benefit one side. But a world that exists and lives must be a world that is sustained by everyone, and I believe that through music, change can surely come about because of this. Here's another crazy one of my dreams. I wonder if we lived in a world that existed without labels. I wonder what that would look like. I wonder what kind of people would we be? How would we look at one another? And how we would conduct ourselves sharing this world with others. You have to dream and think higher than the sky that you see, for how can we possibly achieve beyond going only what we only see? The imagination channels something unpredictable and creative, and we should encourage and respect the individuals that have this capacity in life. We are often too quick to let our judgment and preconceived notions of other people occupy our conclusions without realizing the absolute value that is life within them and life affirming. This new world shall only remain existing within the mind of mine for as long as things remain the same. It is up to individuals as myself to respond to this higher purpose in life, to serve and elevate mankind, and to awaken their true potential and self-ability. I believe history has been a collective pursuit of higher ideals and progress of humans. It does not mean, however, that this is the case with individualism. The Enlightenment period is perhaps the golden pinnacle and era of history that has produced some of the greatest works of art, music, literature, and continues to be an unprecedented cornerstone of human achievement and idealism today. However, we are forgetting all that was once great, and instead substituting greatness for mediocrity, the greatest robbery of our time. No longer do we expect greatness, but rather average. No longer do we want greatness either, but safe and simple. The postmodernist era is upheaving before us with uncalculated pace to its own destruction in values, ideas, and existence. What do we do about the reality and world we are living in today? You have to rise above all of this and become someone of higher truths and convictions to first survive this onslaught of conformity and destructive ideology. Only through an elevation of the self is man truly free, and this is my journey in life as a gentleman. One day, I hope that the work I put into this life will help the world see the potential it has. A new world is possible if we can believe again, and believe in ourselves what we are capable of achieving. The task is at hand before me as a gentleman, and by sharing this I hope to be moving in the right step towards this new world I have dreamed for so long. Maybe one day this will all come true, and we shall be closer in harmony. It's a dream of mine. So that's chapter 9 of my book, and I just feel like, yeah, in some ways, that is me, and I need to pursue what is true and meaningful in my own life, and to be the good that I know is good, because I think this world does need that. So that's my mission, that's been my journey, is to discover and to explore this great mystery and adventure called life. And I I I am trying my best to welcome it, and I want to embrace it, and that's what I try to do now. And I'm only 21, but I want my life to mean something, not just for now and today, but hopefully for the future, and hopefully for people in the future that will see what I'm doing with my life. I hope that if anything I can bring something meaningful to their life, and hopefully yours too. So with all of this being said, I look forward at the future with a sense of wonder still, and a sense of gratitude and thankfulness that has come before me. And I'm excited for the future. I'm excited with my life. As scary and as crazy as it is, I welcome it, and I think I'm ready now. So thanks for listening and watching.